Hi, I'm James with British Customs. In this episode of How To, we're going to show you how to remove your spark plugs, inspect them, and gap them, and reinstall them. We're going to do it on this air-cooled, early carbureted, early 2000s model. I forget which year it is. But this applies to fuel-injected, carbureted, air-cooled, liquid-cooled, doesn't matter. So first thing we want to do is we're going to remove the spark plug cap here. And then we want to get our spark plug socket in here, which is that 18 millimeter spark plug socket. Get a wrench on there, ratchet. Now it's loose. Should be able to spin it out by hand. Now you might be wondering, what's so special about a spark plug wrench? Why do I need one? Well, you don't absolutely need one, but it will make your life much easier. It's not as big a deal when you're working on motorcycles as it is if you're working on a car and this was like really deep in there. You definitely wouldn't want to use a regular wrench. You want to use a spark plug wrench. But it still helps us on bikes because you see, I was able to pick that up and the spark plug comes with it. It's because it's got a piece that grips the plug and holds it in there. That's a kind of expensive one, but here's just a cheaper one. It's got a rubber grip in there. So again, it holds it. Actually holds it really nice compared to the more expensive tool. A regular 18 millimeter socket just wants to fall out of there, so you can't pick it up. So now you have to reach in there and pick it up by hand. Again, really easy to do here, so it's not that important to have it. It's actually maybe a little more important when you're putting it back in than it is taking it out. So now we'll take the other one off. Get our tool in there. Pull it out. So now you can see, looking at both of these spark plugs, they're definitely both fouled out. It's probably a combination of a couple different things. It's not super fluffy, so it's not all just fuel that's turning them black like that. Some of it is oil. Some of it is contamination from bad fuel that went through here that we already know about. But they're not wet with oil. So if it was like just oil blowing up on there, the oil is not going to dry off when the bike sits. So it's more fuel that we're probably looking at here that is the issue. But reading plugs is also kind of difficult these days with the fuels. When they're black like this, hey, that's definitely that it's running too rich or something. But when they're running lean and you see some discoloration and stuff on them, all the detergents and stuff that's in fuel, it's not even gas like it used to be anymore. So they're not as easy to read as they used to be in the old days. Now, here's the thing. Every 6,000 miles, they want you to pull these out and inspect them. And then they want you to replace them every 12,000 miles. My whole feeling on this is if you're going to pull this plug out and for the price of a spark plug, if I'm going to pull it out at 6,000 miles, I'm just going to put a brand new one in. I'm not going to worry about, inspecting them and then cleaning it off and putting it back in. I don't bother cleaning spark plugs. I put new ones in. So here's one thing with these spark plugs that we're putting in here. These iridium spark plugs are a fine point on here. And there's a lot of companies that'll tell you you can't gap the fine point spark plugs that they're pre-gapped, but NGK says that you actually can gap them. You just don't want to use what most people say the only way you can measure a spark plug is with a wire gauge like this. You need to use a flat gauge to check them. Now, the gap that we want to set them at is 35 millimeters, so I have two flats here set at 35. So we want to just check it, and that's right there. So I don't even need to gap these. It's close enough that we can run it just like that. If you were going to gap these, you can still do it using this tool. Is how you would pull this back and open that up a little bit. Being careful not to hit that ceramic piece in there. You would just want to open it up a little bit, as much as you have to, that you can get this in there. And if you go a little bit too far and you want to tap it down on a wood surface, you need to come straight down and just tap it down a little bit until you can close that gap back up. You want to get your feeler gauges in there, and you should feel some slight resistance in there, and that's it. So that one is right where we wanted it to begin with. So I guess in this case, maybe they are pre-gapped, but I've had ones come out that definitely are not. I've had them come out at 20 thousandths, so I would have to open them back up. But as long as you use a flat gauge, you can check these. If you use one of these round ones, you're probably going to break that point. So get this cap off. Usually out of the box, these things will spin right off by hand, but for some reason these ones are a little bit extra tight. That's all it took. It's not like they're crazy tight. I just hardly turned that and they come right off. If you leave this on, your spark plug cap is never going to fit over your spark plug, and your bike will not run. Or it may run, but it'll run really poorly. So make sure you take those off. So now one thing we want to do is put a little anti-seize on our spark plug. Be careful not to get any on the electrode, and you don't have to overdo it. Just get a little bit on there. You get it on one side, it's going to work its way around. So now I can just pop it into my wrench, slide it in there. Do not use any power tools trying to put or remove your spark plugs, or you might be taking your whole motor apart to fix a thread on your head. Always do it by hand, and always use a torque wrench to final tighten it. Now, spark plug torque is 20 Newton meters. And this is where, as nice as this tool is, it's a little bit shallow. See if my cheaper one gets me up a little bit higher. Might give me a little bit more swing on my torque wrench here. Yeah, gives me a little bit more, so why not? And this is what I don't like about this tool, is, like I said, that grip is better. It's a real pain to get out of there. Okay, and then the next thing you want to do is you're going to get some dielectric grease, and we just want to get that on the seal here. You don't need to go loading the whole cap up. I've seen people do that. You're just looking to get the seal so it helps seal around the spark plug. There you go. Now that's on. So then we'll put this one in. Got my anti-seize already on there. You want to be careful when you're putting this in. You don't want to close up that electrode, so don't go banging it around. You're just going nice and easy. Make sure she starts threading. So now we can torque this one down, 20 Newton meters. Once I get in on that. There we go. Okay. Now we'll just put a little dielectric grease in there. Now when you put this cap on, you're looking to listen for this click. You know that you're on there. If you're not getting that click, you might have forgot to take that cap off. All right, so that's it on how to change your spark plugs. Couple things, if you're having fouling issues like we were seeing with these plugs, it could also be your coil. It may not be fuel, it may not be your spark plugs, anything wrong with that. It could be the coil itself. It's just not getting proper spark to it, and we have a video for that on how to test your coils, so go check that one out. The other thing is, if you're having fouling issues, maybe just ride it for a little bit, and then you might want to pull the plugs out and inspect them and see how they're doing. Are they getting fouled? The other thing with carbureted bikes is don't leave your choke on too long, because that's a surefire way to foul out your plugs. I know some people like to put their choke on and leave the bike sit there for 5 minutes. You know, just get it started, and when it can run on its own, shut that choke off. Thanks for watching.